Productions proudly presents the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Swung on, foul ball toward left field, back, out of here, home run, over the left field wall. He got every bit of that one.
Now, live from the birthplace of Southern gospel music in the land of Crockett, with Stanley Wilson, here's J.P. Plant.
Welcome back to Denver Track Field in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. As Bismarck, North Dakota, finishing their infield. Sarasota, Florida, about to take the field. We're going to have a special ceremony coming up in just a little bit. And Stanley G. Wilson is down on the sidelines. And Stanley, we got some folks down there, some familiar jerseys that kind of took center stage on this field just 2 years ago.
Yes, we do. We got the 2015 Babe Ruth All-Stars from 2 years ago, and I've got Jacob Hallmark here, otherwise known as Hollywood. And Jacob, you're coming back to the field. Last time we were here, it was exciting. There was tons of people around here, and you told me a while ago it looked like the fair out here. There were so many people, but you want one more year of eligibility.
Yes, sir. I'd give about anything, and I'd put money if everybody else on the team would too.
Well, at least you guys can all get in the same jersey from 2 years ago. You're not got to that point, but you guys can remember what was your feelings heading into that final game that night?
There was just so many people here, like you said. It was like the fair. There was just looking up. It'll be a memory I'll never forget.
Now, have you ever gone back? It's on YouTube. Have you ever gone back and watched that game?
I honestly never have. I've been meaning to, but I never have.
All right, there's Jacob Hallmark, the shortstop for that team 2 years ago. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, Stanley. Hollywood Hallmark, and Stanley's walking around those down in the Orange Crush uniforms. So we'll see who all he can talk to. Sarasota warming up. They are the 3 seed from the National Division against the 2 seed from Bismarck, North Dakota in the American Division. So the second quarterfinal tonight as New Jersey fell to Wisconsin 7-3. An entertaining game. Wisconsin was 6 runs in the 7th, and they were able to pull away to advance to tomorrow's semifinal against the host from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. That game will be at 5:30. As we getting closer and closer to this ceremony, we're going to have of course, a first pitch will be thrown out by a member of this group representing the 2015 World Series runners-up. They were also, a majority of that group, were runners-up at the 2013 World Series as 13-year-old Stanley in Williston, North Dakota.
Yeah, made it 3 times in a row, Williston, North Dakota, then Ocala, Florida, then finally got to host it. And came up short, came in second place in Williston and second place here.
So back-to-back World Series for that team and many of those members. And it's been cool to see them kind of mingling around Stanley and catching up as, of course, they're all still in high school.
Oh, yeah.
Well, except Jacob Laws.
Yeah, Laws graduated.
He's the only one. Everyone else will be, mostly everyone else will be a senior. There's 1 or 2. Jacob James will be a junior. But several of those, especially the ones that were on Loretto, of course, were members of that state championship team that happened back in May. And they had, of course, the World Series runners-up. So, and Ryan Weathers, of course, featured on this team as well, who's been kind of making a national tour, if you will, to all different kinds of special events throughout the country and many showcases, including at Wrigley Field out in San Diego, the Under Armour All-American game, and trying out for the USA 17U team as well. So we're going to hear from a lot of these guys, I think, beyond their high school playing career.
Yeah, you mentioned Jacob Laws graduated. He's headed to UNA on a scholarship to be a pitcher there. And Ryan Weathers has 1 more year, and they're going to try to repeat as the state champions down at Loretta. So got a lot of baseball left in them.
Absolutely.
But one of the, I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, they were all together for 3 years. stayed in the motels together, traveled together, did things off the baseball field together. So there's more than a friendship. It's like a brotherhood to these guys down here.
Yeah, no question about that. And it's good to see those guys back together. And it may be the first time in a while, Stanley, that they've all been back together. I don't recall them having done anything collectively as a group really since then.
I'll ask that. That's a good question. But, you know, JP, I remember Jack was still down at WDXC that first year. We all went out onto the square, and David Weathers was up there, the county executive, the mayor, everybody was there in town to wish them good wishes as they got in their cars and was leaving for Willingston, North Dakota. Of course, they went to the airport to fly there, but what an exciting time for Lawrence County at that time. And here we are now hosting our second World Series. And it just seemed like yesterday that was going on, that David Weathers was up there thanking all the people that were supporting him. And you know, getting all the travel plans together. Jack and I was trying to figure out how I could get up there without spending blowing the budget, and we just couldn't do it. We found a gentleman, Ralph, forgot Ralph's last name, had a great voice. He was doing it for a local radio station in Willingston, North Dakota, and we got the feed from him. And then I remember we made it to the championship. I mean, it was just like every day, how they doing? What's going on? And we would get phone calls at the radio station. What time do the boys play? We want to listen to it. And so finally they got to the championship, and they had the weekend crew there at the radio station. Well, they were not aware that we were taking the feed. So Jack and I were running around like crazy that Saturday afternoon trying to find out how to get in touch with them. Every time I would call, I would get no answer. And I'm like, you know, this is the same number I used all week. And I would get the answers, and everybody would just put us on the air. Finally, Jack said, let's call Alan Betts. I know he's there. He's there. Because Alan had flown up there. So we called Alan. Alan got a cell phone, and he was behind home plate. And he said, sure, I'll do a play-by-play. And he was doing the play-by-play. He did the top of the first inning, you know, like runner at first, here's the pitch. And so finally, after the inning was over, some guy in front of him says, man, are you going to do that all game? You're very annoying. So that was quite an experience for those kids at Williston. And we finally got their game on, and they just came up short against El Segundo, California.
Yeah, so and 2 years later, just short again to another team from Southern California, Westchester, California, as they were the home team on the scoreboard and were able to get a run in the bottom of the eighth, winning extra innings. And a fantastic game 2 years ago. We're going to remember that team here in just a little bit. Florida is on the field right now and about to finish up their infield warm-ups. And as soon as that concludes, we'll begin our pregame ceremonies with the ceremonial first pitch and honoring that 2015 team that came up just one run shy. It was their only loss of that tournament, too. They swept just like the team this year, Brad and Stanley. They swept through pool play and easily won their semifinal game and got to the championship against California. That was rolling at that point. They lost a game early, their first game actually, but it really never came close to anything after that except for the semifinals against West End, Pennsylvania, Brad, that you were hosting one of their players and a couple of their players and followed that game pretty closely.
Absolutely. West End gave them all they wanted, came up just a bit short, and they had one of the best Babe Ruth hitters I've ever seen.
Fortin, Joseph Fortin.
Yes.
Yeah, for Westchester.
He had a huge tournament here 2 years ago, but fantastic run by the guys from Lawrenceburg. And, you know, we didn't know exactly what to expect from the team from Lawrenceburg coming in this year. They have matched them 4-0 through pool play. They have put on a show for the local fans, and everyone's really enjoyed it thus far.
No question. Again, Florida still warming up as we'll widen up, and you can see them finishing up their play. We're going to keep it right here so we can carry in its entirety the pregame ceremonies honoring the 2015 World Series runners-up from right here in Lawrenceburg and Lawrence County, a team that made back-to-back-to-back World Series appearances as 13s, 14s, and 15s. So that is just a few moments away, and We'll be handing off our on-field mic, I believe, to Master Ceremony Stanley. Paul Plant, what you got to do?
Well, I think they're going to do everything in the up at the press box.
Okay.
So that's what we're getting from down here.
Okay. All right. So the teams are getting together, and we do have I believe we're going to have another national anthem. And we'll get those names coming up in just a bit. They have sung here before. I do know that, and maybe Stanley can get the mic to our national anthem singers here tonight before they go out there. So Florida's coming off the field. We'll widen up our view here. We appreciate all you joining in right now. Again, we're waiting for a pregame ceremony, which will honor the 2015 World Series runners-up. So we see we're getting closer and closer. You can feel the anticipation, Brad.
Absolutely. We are going to have national anthem. Cheney and Annalise Story are going to be taking the national anthem for us tonight.
There you go. Stanley, you think you can get that mic to them? All right.
Well, you got the feed going through there. They've still got each one of them
They've got just hand them one of those mics. They'll. All right. Let's go to public address announcer Bill Phillips for our pregame ceremony.
From Sarasota, Florida, who took third place in the pool competition in the national division, and they will be playing Bismarck, North Dakota, who took second place in the American division. Bismarck will be the home team this evening. In earlier action tonight, Janesville, Wisconsin defeated West Windsor, New Jersey. That's easy for me to say. Wisconsin will advance to the semifinal round tomorrow evening. They will play Lawrenceburg. The winner of this game tonight will earn the right to take on Tri-Valley, California. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we have a special recognition to make. The 2015 Babe Ruth World Series runner-up team who won the state Southeast region and in 2013 and 2014. They are the only Lawrenceburg Babe Ruth teams in 62 years to earn their way to the World Series. They finished second, fifth, and second in the World Series in 2013, 2014, and 2015, respectively. Here now is that 2015 Babe Ruth World Series runner-up team. Drew Bailey. Each player will be presented a pin by Mr. Ben Messing, Babe Ruth board member. Coulter Hauser. Ben Stagg. Kendall Franklin. Bradley Huckabee. C.J. Jackson. Sam Crane. Luke Shannon. We understand that Luke could not be with us this evening. Bailey Burleson. Lance Pope. Ryan Weathers. Jacob Law. Jacob James. Jacob Hallmark. Austin Clanton. Coach Mike Crane. Coach Josh Purcell. And the manager was David Weathers. And folks, I'm looking at these guys standing on the line, and they are each about a foot taller than they were a couple of years ago when we saw them here at the World Series. As these gentlemen stay with us on the line, we now have the starting lineup first for the visiting team from Sarasota, Florida. The reserves. Number 6, Zach Starby. Number 5, Mason Payne. Number 3, Noah Scott. And an injured player, number 11, Zach Calhoun. And the starters for this evening. Let's center field, wearing number 8, Darrell Torres. The second baseman, number 24, Dylan Robertson. The right fielder, number 19, Tyler Russin. The third baseman, wearing number 20, Jason Scott. The shortstop, wearing number 2, Nick Henry. The extra player, wearing number 1, Cade Nelson. The center, wearing number 10, Owen Ayers. The first baseman, wearing number 4, Evan Gibbs. The pitcher, wearing number 44, Boot Hanford, Alex Boot Hanford. And the left fielder, wearing number 23, Brandon Yonker. The coaches for Sarasota are Dave Million, Steve Hardy. The manager is Rob Million. The ball boys are Trey Smith, Cash Baker, and Michael Plumley. And the team ambassadors are Bella Grace Burnett and Jillian Butler. Ladies and gentlemen, the All-Stars from Sarasota, Florida. And now the home team this evening. First the reserves, wearing number 3, who we understand has a birthday today, Cody Sorensen. Happy birthday, Cody. Number 5, Skylar Strand. And number 7, Darren Gold. And now the starters for Bismarck. At center field, wearing number 9, Connor Wycombe. The third baseman, wearing number 12, Skylar Ravenberg. The shortstop, wearing number 19, Cade Keeney. The pitcher, wearing number 15, Connor Hansen. The left fielder, wearing number 20, Luke Dumrad. The first baseman, wearing number 32, Mason Langgang. The catcher, wearing number 14, Cameron Miller. The right fielder, wearing number 10, Alex Cruz. And the second baseman, wearing number 4, Nick Kemp. And the coaches for Bismarck. The head coach and manager is Brandon Giesler. The assistant coach is Andrew Dill. The bat boys are Sid Brown, Carter Robertson. The team ambassadors, Tessa Bowden and Ellie Vincent. The umpires for this evening's competition. At the plate will be Clint Wright. On third base is Bobby Smith. And on first base is Patrick Moore. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise as we recite together the Babe Ruth Code. The Babe Ruth Code. Develop a strong, clean, healthy body, mind, and soul. Develop a strong urge for sportsmanlike conduct. Develop understanding of and respect for the rules. Develop courage in defeat, tolerance and modesty in victory. Develop control over emotions and speech. Develop spirit of cooperation and team play. And develop into real, true citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, the Babe Ruth Code, something that we could all live by. And now, if you'll please remain standing, singing our national anthem tonight, are Cheney and Annalise Story. They are the 14-year-old daughters of Kevin and Tracy Story. They are freshmen at Lawrence County High School and enjoy leading worship at New Prospect Baptist Church. And ladies, I need one of your mics to be turned on, please. You have the field. Hold up just a minute, please. One of our mics has not been turned on. Check your mics, please, ladies. It's going to be the mic with the yellow strip. So you're going to have to share the mic with the red strip. apologize for the mic malfunction. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening the first pitch will be up by David Weathers. David Weathers played professional ball for a number of teams. He finished his career with the Cincinnati Reds. At one time, he was a middle reliever for the New York Yankees and pitched in the World Series. By golly, he still got it across the plate. Ladies and gentlemen, let's play ball.
All right, so there you have it. A stirring rendition of our national anthem. A couple of local Lawrence County High School freshmen as Cheney and Anna Lee Story. Well done, ladies. First pitch sent out by 19-year Major League veteran David Weathers, one of the coaches of the 2015 Babe Ruth World Series runners-up team. All right, let's get to our starting lineup here tonight. First, the visitors on the scoreboard will be Sarasota, Florida. They'll send Darren Torres to the plate, followed by Robertson, Tyler Russin, then Jason Scott, your cleanup hitter. Nick Henry, followed by Cade Nelson, Owen Ayers, Evan Gibbs, batting ninth, Alec Boot Hanford, and batting 10th, Brandon Yonker. The substitutes, Zach Sparby, Mason Payne, Noah Scott, and Zach Calhoun. Their manager is Rob Million, coaches Dave Million and Steve Hardy. For the Capitals of Bismarck, one of a couple of teams that have a nickname here this week, and the 2016 14-year-old runners-up. At third base will be Skylar Riedinger. At short tonight will be Cade Feeney. At second base for Bismarck will be Nick Hintz. And at first will be Mason Linegang. In left field will be Luke Domre. In center, Connor Wycombe. And in right tonight will be Alex Krug. Behind the plate for Bismarck will be Cameron Miller. And on the mound, number 15, Connor Hansen. J.P. Plant, Brad Nielsen, Stanley G. Wilson with you.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
I got the two guys that graduated off this 2015 World Series team, Jacob Laws and Bailey Burleson. What does it mean to come back here tonight? And have you guys been together since that two years ago?
No, we haven't.
There's Bailey Burleson right there. And what do you remember about that night? I mean, it was a lot of folks here, but what was going through your mind when you got here to the ballpark?
It's glad to be back, see everybody back again.
And Jacob, you won a state championship at Loretta, but you know that was a heartbreaker at the Babe Ruth. But how does that compare to what you guys did? Well, I mean, with the state championship. I mean, I know you won the state championship, and you didn't get the job finished at the Babe Ruth. But I mean, the excitement at both games.
They were both fun games to be at and play in, but winning state meant a lot, and I would have liked to have won World Series here.
All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping by.
All right. Thank you very much, Stanley. First pitch is for Torres misses for a ball, and that one over for a strike. 1-1. And I think we're going to have a spirited contest here tonight, Brad Nielsen.
Absolutely. The fans from North Dakota have been into it the entire time, as has Sarasota. Pitch fouled away for strike two. Two really good ball clubs. I've gotten to watch North Dakota, as the field I've been on most of the time has had that division, but been a lot of fun. Hansen is a good-looking lefty on the mound.
So Hansen, the 1-2, fouled it back to the net. Did Torres leading off. And Robertson followed by Russin, the first three up for Sarasota, Florida, the Southeast champs. The 1-2. Line drive right back to the pitcher, Hansen, for the first out of the inning here in the top of the first.
Nice play by the pitcher, fielding it up the middle.
So Dylan Robertson will step in the batter's box. Just underway, no score. That pitch is low for a ball, 1-0. Ball's popped up, out of play. And nearly made the catch over at first. Was Line Gang.
Yeah,
fell down, but almost made the play.
Yeah, JP, the spin of the ball brought it back into play just about.
So the 1-1. Grounder to short. And Feeney up with it. Safe. As Robertson made his way over.
And Sarasota with a man on, 1 out.
So Tyler Russin will step into the batter's box. There's a strike on the outside edge. 0-1 the count.
Little action on the fastball by Hansen running back into the lefty.
Throw over to first. That one hits him.
Hansen tried to slide step through the breaking ball, and it stayed inside, got a little flat.
So Miller goes out to talk to his pitcher, Hansen. And runners at first and second with 1 out for Sarasota. The Southeast champs. They won the Southeast region last year's 14-year-olds and defeated the Lawrenceburg team in the championship game. The pitch is over for a strike. 0-1 to the hitter, Jason Scott. No score, just underway. Top of the first, Bismarck, North Dakota, and Sarasota, Florida. That one gets past Miller, but not enough to allow the runner at second, Robertson.
Nice job by Miller, quickly popping up, getting to it, keeping the runner at first and second.
The 1-1 with 1 out is low, 2-1.
We have seen Miller throw behind runners at second base throughout the tournament. Would not be surprised to see Torres chase back to the bag. I apologize, Robertson.
2-1. Foul to the net. Dancing out there at second is Robertson, trying to draw the attention of Hansen. The 2-2. Inside, and we're full.
North Dakota not holding the runner at first. Ground ball will be a tough double play.
There's a line drive into center field, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Making his way to third is Robertson. And nice job of Russin of realizing the ball was going to drop and getting to second in time before a force could be made. And the bases are loaded for Florida here in the top of the first.
Nicholas Henry coming to the plate for Sarasota. Opportunity to drive the first run in of the game.
Henry hits from the right side, facing the lefty, Hansen. Creeping in at third. And a ball gets through the infield. 1 run will score. And that's going to be it, as it was cut off in right field.
Nice job by the right fielder, quickly getting in, Alex Krug.
So Florida gets on the board first, 1-0, on a slap shot RBI single to the right side of the infield.
Some of the Sarasota fans waving to friends and family at home after the first run of the game.
Hitter is Cade Nelson. So Krug made the play out and right, got it in quickly. Bases still loaded, still 1 out. 1-0 Florida. Chopper at short, coming home, and safe. As Russin did not slide and ran into Miller. Yep.
Ball took the shortstop Feeney deep into the hole. He tried to plant and throw home to get the lead runner. Ball was not going to beat the runner anyway, I don't believe.
So Miller's the catcher. He's going to be tough. He's not going anywhere.
2 runs across in the top of the first for Sarasota. 1 away, bases remain loaded. Hanson looking to get out of a jam with minimal damage.
Owen Ayers, the hitter. Swing and a miss. Reedinger creeping in on the grass at third for Bismarck. The 0-1. Grounder right back to home to Hanson on to first. Double play. 1, 2, 3. Double play to end the inning. Florida puts 2 on the board with 2 runs and 2 hits. 1 error and 2 runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the first. Your score, Florida 2, North Dakota 0. This is the 2017 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series live on X Sports TV.
Would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects, maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
We're back in Lawrenceburg. 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Head to the bottom of the first. 2-0 Florida. Jumping on the Capitals of Bismarck, North Dakota first. Take a look at the Bismarck lineup. It'll be Connor Wycombe, followed by Skylar Reedinger. Cade Feeney, and then Connor Hanson, the cleanup. Luke Gomries, followed by Mason Lanegang. Cameron Miller, Alex Krug, and Nick Hintz. Sending 9 batters to the plate for Bismarck. And the outfield for Sarasota, or the defensive alignment for Sarasota, looks like this. At third will be Scott. At short will be Henry. At second, Robertson, and at first base, Gibbs. The outfield, left to right, Yonker. And in center will be Torres, and in right field, Russin. The catcher tonight for Sarasota is Ayers, and the pitcher on the mound, Alec Boot Hanford. First pitch in there for a strike.
Alec Boot Hanford, the pitcher for Sarasota. Right-hander lines up and delivers quickly ahead of Wycombe, 0-2.
Big cut there by Wycombe. That pitch just misses outside. 1-2 the count.
Ayers set up just off the plate. Nice pitch with an 0-2 count.
1-2. Just missing. 2-2 the count. Nobody on base. Nobody out. Bottom of the second. Wycombe, the 2-2 from Boot Hanford, misses outside. 3-2.
Back. Sorry about the mic jumping back mid-sentence.
Cut you off there, Brad. That pitch is outside. And Walk trying to let folks know where they can watch this game. We got our windows open, so we very handy to be able to talk to the patrons out here.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Wycombe falls behind 0-2, battles back to draw a leadoff walk for North Dakota. Riedinger, the third baseman at the plate.
Squares around, couldn't lay down, and a play at first, and he's out. Ayers with a nice play down to Gibbs and caught Wycombe leaning. Riedinger unable to lay the bunt down, and it cost him for the first out of the inning. Bases empty now with 1 out. And an 0-1 count to Riedinger. That one's up the middle. He makes them pay, though.
That was a bullet back through the box. Pitchers do not want to see those.
So Cade Feeney will step into the batter's box and add a masterful pitching performance. I believe it was Sunday night against Wisconsin. There's a strike on the outside edge, 0-1.
Wow, 1 hit through 6 innings,
I think you're right.
believe.
Yeah. Was the Ron Tellefson player of the game.
Beat out his teammate, tonight's starting pitcher Hansen, that had a inside the park grand slam.
And a triple,
right?
with
5 RBIs.
Yeah, that was a tough one to pick. That pitch misses low, 1-1 the count. Fouled away.
Ayers with a strong throw to first off the missed bunt to get the first out on Wycombe.
1-2. Line drive right back up the gut. Back-to-back hits right up the middle.
That is how you teach hitting, but that'll get you gun-shy as the pitcher as well.
So Riedinger and Feeney tattoo the ball back up the middle, and 2 runners on for Bismarck. With 1 out in the bottom of the first, 2-0, Florida leading. And Connor Hansen is your hitter. The counterpart to Alec Boot Hanford. There's a strike from Boot Hanford. 0-1 the count with a nice curveball. Hansen throws left. He also hits on the left side. We've seen quite a few, though, that are switch in terms of will throw right, maybe hit left, or throw left and hit right. There's a strike.
2 nice breaking balls to get ahead quickly. First baseman playing very deep with the left-handed hitter up. Feeney getting an extremely large lead.
The 0-2. Hit the mark, but set up outside just a bit was Ayers. Tried to get him chasing. And Hansen with a good eye. Count now 1-2. Still just 1 out. 2 runners on base, though, for North Dakota. They trail 2-0. Slap to the left side of the infield. It gets through. And a rounding third. Play at the plate and no play. They got a runner caught between second and third. A run scores, and a run down is Feeney, and he is safe. Slid under the tag and making his way to second. was the hitter Hansen. So a run scores, an RBI single, and somehow Riedinger, or rather Feeney, makes his way to third, and Hansen will be at second.
An aggressive play by Feeney. He got caught at second. Rather than juke back and forth, he put his head down, tried to advance to third. Hansen, realizing that, went straight to second. Second, third, one out. Domrez to the plate.
So Luke Domrez, still just with one out, takes a strike at the outside edge, 0-1. 2-1 your score now. North Dakota fighting back here in the bottom of the first after giving up a 2-spot in the top half of the inning. Slap foul out of play. 0-2 now to Domrez.
Going back to Hansen's at bat, the lefty did a nice job. Hanford was pitching away from him. He shot it through the left side of the infield for an RBI single. Advanced to second on the throw.
The 0-2. Line drive at right center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Scoring is Feeney, and on his way to third is Hansen, an RBI single for Luke Domrez, and we're tied at 2 in the bottom of the first.
Back-to-back opposite field line drives by this team from North Dakota. Mason Langang to the plate. Go ahead run 90 feet away at third base.
Still just one out. Bottom of the first. We're tied at 2. Boot Hanford comes ready. Throw to first. Back on his belly is Domrez. North Dakota fans getting started here. There's a curveball over for a strike to Mason Langang.
Boot Hanford's got a nice breaking ball. He's locating it, keeping it down in the zone. Late action.
Spins that thing right off, doesn't he? Just snaps it. The 0-1. Popped him up. And in the infield at short is Henry for the second out of the inning. Maybe we'll pick up some more viewers there, Brad.
Good.
Well done. Yeah, tell your friends. Exportsradio.com. There's a link there. You can't miss it. If you're on your desktop, you got a smartphone, you've probably got the YouTube app. Go there, search for X, the letter X, Sports TV. It's that simple. Tell your friends. Tell your family. Swing and a miss. Strike one to Cameron Miller. We set a new record of viewers in the first game tonight. I expect a lot from these two fan bases, North Dakota and Florida. Swing and a miss, throw down to second, and
wow,
gunned out before he could even slide. How about Owen Ayers gunning out the runner at second for the third out of the inning, but Bismarck bites back. We're tied at 2 after 1 inning of play. Florida and North Dakota in elimination round baseball at the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Back to Lawrenceburg after this.
Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
We're back live in Lawrenceburg, side of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. JP Plant, Brad Nielsen up in our Parks Lumber perch. And tied at 2. Stanley G. Wilson is down in the dugouts. We'll check in with him in just a bit. See how things are going down on the field level. On what's turned out to be a beautiful night. We had a lot of sunshine, Brad, as our first game was underway. We've had overcast skies really the whole tournament except Saturday. We had some intermittent sunshine when we played 8 games, and an overcast on Sunday and Monday. Rain washed us out Friday, but had a lot of sunshine late this afternoon after some rain came through, and it's been a clear, beautiful mid-August night here in Lawrenceburg. First pitch to the hitter, Evan Gibbs, popped up down the left field line and out of play for a ball 0-1. And let's head down to the sideline in the dugout. Stanley G. Wilson with the dugout report.
Hey, guys, a lot of intensity down here. I'm on the Sarasota side now, and these guys are really, really pumped up. And you expect that in a single elimination game.
Stanley, what did they yell on that first pitch when they all came out of the dugouts?
I'm not sure.
Did that get your attention like it did us up here?
Yeah. I was over there. I was on the other side.
Okay.
That was when I was doing my interview, and all of a sudden I hear this screaming.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
What in the world?
The 0-2 right back up the middle. And at short, Feeney, a nice play, sweeping in behind Hanson, and one down here in the second.
Florida 2 runs on 2 hits. North Dakota 2 runs on 4 hits with 1 error. We've had 4 balls hit right back through the mound already.
The pitchers better beware tonight.
Absolutely. The other thing is it tells you guys are timing the pitches up really well.
Alec Boot Hanford, the hitter, takes a strike on the outside edge. 0-1 the count. Went out in the inning, tied at 2. Sarasota, Florida, and Bismarck, North Dakota. The 0-1 is low. Count even at 1-1.
Hanson working from the windup. 25 pitches to this point.
There's a strike on the outside edge. 1-2. One-two. Just got a piece of it, fouled it away.
Boot Hanford, the pitcher, in the 8th spot of the batting lineup, trying to get something going for Sarasota in the top of the second.
The 1-2. Outside. 2-2.
When Hanson's missed to the left-handed batter's box with his breaking ball, he's getting a little flat trying to spin that.
Little chopper to the right side. Up with it is Hintz on to first in time. And there are 2 gone in the top of the second. So Brandon Yonker will be your hitter. 10th hitter in the lineup. Florida uses the extra hitter. Extra player. There's a grounder. Short. Feeney once again on to first in time. Dug out of there by Lane Gang for the 3rd out of the inning. We head to the bottom half of the second. Still tied at 2. Sarasota, Florida, and Bismarck, North Dakota. We'll be back to Lawrenceburg after this short timeout.
Would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
The announcer's wardrobe has been provided by HD Inc. For all your screen printing and embroidery needs, give owner Phil Hooper a call at 931-201-2961 or email him at hdinc2010 HD@gmail.com. HD Inc., the official apparel provider of the X-Sports Radio Network. We welcome you back to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, side of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Denver Trap Field, J.P. Plant, Brad Nielsen, and our Parks Lumber Perch. And Stanley G. Wilson is somewhere down on the field as we get ready for bottom of the third. Where are you, Stanley?
I'm out in the crowd back here.
Oh, are you? Oh, okay.
I got to make my way around.
Okay.
Cameron Miller, the catcher, to lead off the inning, had fallen behind with 2 strikes before Ayers, the catcher for Sarasota, ended the inning on an unbelievable throw to second.
It was. Yeah, so another chance for Miller. A fresh slate. Takes a strike on the outside edge, count even at 1-1. Just missed a bit low, 2-1.
Boot Hanford is hitting the spots.
Yes, he is.
Ayers moving around, up, down, in, out. Nice location on the pitches.
The 2-1 swing and a miss and a strike. And Lawrenceburg's own Clint Wright is a home plate umpire here tonight. One of 6 umpires from all over the country. Got another one from Murfreesboro, I know. The 2-2. Lifted into right field, and that's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding first and holding there is Miller. As a nice job by Tyler Russin to get to that ball quickly to keep the runner held to a single.
That'll bring Alexander Krug, the right fielder, to the plate. Krug has shown some pop in the tournament. Had a triple the other night to the right center gap over on Tom Cruise.
One of the shorter players probably in the World Series.
He has very quick hands, and most of the time his swing is very compact.
So Boot Hanford once again from the stretch. No outs, runner at first is Miller. Pitch. He squares around, lays a beautiful bunt down the third base line. One place to go, that's to first in time. And Miller makes his way to second.
Nice job by Krug executing the sacrifice. Moves his catcher into scoring position for Nicholas Hens, the second baseman.
So 1 out now in the bottom of the second, still tied at 2. Both teams with 5 hits each. Hence your hitter. Strike at the knees. 0-1 to Nicholas Hens.
This Bismarck team has a lot of speed. Even the sacrifice bunts end up putting a lot of pressure on the defense to come up firing to first to get the out.
Pitch misses just outside. Yeah, I think definitely they're a team that matches up speed-wise with the host of Lawrenceburg. The 1-1. Tried to lay the bunt down, throw it back to second, and they've got him in a rundown. Between second and third, and they tag him out. And Ayers, once again, what a cannon of an arm.
Through 2 2/3 innings, 3 assists for the catcher.
That's amazing.
That's video game numbers.
So the 2 outs now, and the bases are empty for Nicholas Hens, and a 1-2 count.
Both of the guys that have been picked off have been on missed bunt opportunities, though.
Pitch is low, 2-2.
North Dakota likes to play small ball. They have to execute it or they're going to hang the runners out to dry.
Everybody taking a moment. 2-2 count. Here we go. From the windup, Boot Hanford to Hens. Popped it up in the shallow center. And coming in is Darrell Torres to to make the third out of the inning. So North Dakota puts a little pressure on, but another putouts by the catcher, Ayers, for Sarasota. We played 2. Your score still tied at 2. Florida and North Dakota, the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series, live on X Sports TV. Back after this.
Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Gerald Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
We're at the top of the third, tied at 2. Sarasota, Florida, Bismarck, North Dakota. And top of the order coming up for Sarasota, and Torres, Robertson, and Russin. Hanson still on the mound. Here to take you through the middle 3 innings of this one. Brad Nielsen.
As Torres steps in 0 for 1 on the day. Hanson from the windup. First pitch in there for a strike. Both teams effective in getting guys on base. Only 2 apiece pushed across the plate, though. A lot of that can be contributed to Ayers with 3 assists from the catcher position. Fouled back quickly, 0-2. Torres, the center fielder, showed nice speed coming in to catch the last out of the bottom of the second. He was playing fairly deep, raced under the ball. Fouled up and may get out of play. Miller giving chase. And we'll do it again. 0-2. Hanson, 34 pitches. 25 strikes, 9 balls.
Pretty good control.
Absolutely. Lifted down the right field line, slicing foul. Out of the range of Krug. Good at bat by Torres. Pulled 2 nice pitches from Hanson. Hanson working toward the edge of the plate, not leaving anything over the middle yet. And there's the breaking ball. That's really the only pitch that Hanson has struggled to locate, is the breaking ball to a right-handed hitter. And he's not quite gotten on top of it. A little looping line drive. Nice play by the second baseman, Hinge, ranging to his glove side for the first out.
Almost snow coned that one a little bit, Brad, but did a nice job of holding on to it. Didn't panic.
Saw a lot of baseball on that one as he,
yes, he did.
Brought it all the way in. Dylan Robertson, the second baseman, coming to the plate. Reach on air.
Looked like something you get from the Lions Club tent behind us. Ice cream, the snow cone. Yeah.
Fantastic concessions at the Babe Ruth World Series in Lawrenceburg. We've talked about the barbecue and the pork tenderloin sandwiches. A rip to the left side. That's going to be through for a single. Inside fastball, got the barrel to it. And Robertson's aboard with 1 away.
Just turned on that one.
Tyler Russin, the right fielder, toes the plate. He was hit by a pitch in his first appearance. Right back through the middle on a line drive. That's down for a hit. Center fielder races in, throws it to second. Back-to-back hits for Sarasota. And they're in business, one away, runners at first and second. Jason Scott, the cleanup hitter, playing third base, 1 for 1 with the single on the day. Time granted. Langang at first, playing in front of the runner. Ground ball, going to get through the left side. Left fielder comes up throwing. There's going to be a play at the plate. Not in time. The speed of Torres too much. And with that, Sarasota regains the lead 3-2. Damarez came in, fielded it cleanly. Torres is just a burner on the base paths.
That was actually Robertson.
I apologize. That's correct.
Want to give him credit for that.
Robertson. I apologize. Torres lined out.
I did that earlier in this game, too.
Chopper up the middle. Shortstop steps on second for one. On to first for the double play. Sarasota scores 1 in the top of the third. We've played 2.5. 3-2 is your score in favor of Sarasota. This is the Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg on X Sports TV. We'll be back after a brief break.
Gerald Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Gerald Valentine Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back into Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. In the Babe Ruth World Series on X Sports TV. JP Plant and Brad Nielsen with you tonight. Stanley Wilson roaming the crowd and the dugouts to bring some insight to us.
Yeah, I'm over here on the North Dakota side now. And what a great game we got going here. A tight game and a lot of intensity in both dugouts.
Are the ball, from your vantage point, are the balls going back through the middle?
Yes.
About 5 of them look like they're going to take the pitcher's hat off. Are they as hard hit as it seems from our view up here?
They are. And, I mean, like you guys said earlier, that's what you teach in hitting. Step right back into the pitch and send it right back where it came from.
Both pitchers have pounded the strike zone. Boot Hanford, 34 pitches, 24 for strikes. Wycombe, the leadoff hitter at the plate for Bismarck to start the bottom of the third. 5 hits apiece, 3 runs for Florida, 2 for North Dakota. And that's behind Wycombe. Breaking ball stays up.
Somebody waving. We'll give them. I think I got him right there at the end. The Florida fans down there waving. I guess they're getting messages.
And misses down and outside, ball 2.
And you can tell, guys, both these communities get behind these baseball teams.
Absolutely. There's great intensity on the field as well as in the stands.
I'm a little nervous to go up in the stands, to be honest with you.
The windup in there for a strike over the outside part of the plate.
Yeah, you might not come out of there live, Stanley.
I know.
Most of them are wearing either Sarasota white shirts or Bismarck in their navy blue, so you can tell who to talk to in each half inning. Ball's popped up to the left fielder. Batter Wycombe is retired. Yonker with the catch. I said navy. It could be navy or red for Bismarck. I've seen both. Skylar Riedinger, third baseman, steps in. 1 for 1 with the single. Ground ball, third baseman fielded cleanly and across the diamond for the second out. We talked about this in a game last night because it came at a huge moment. The catcher racing down behind the batter to back up the throw to first, as Denver Trap Field, which we're playing on, has a ton of foul territory. Ayers once again, nice play. Pitch from Boot Hanford misses high to Feeney, the shortstop. 1 for 1 on the day. Fastball in there for a strike. Fastball almost looks like a cutter. It's got a little action away from the righty.
Maybe doing a 3-finger with the seam there.
And that one about 6 feet short of home plate. Ayers backhands it, throws it back, 2-1. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Both pitchers have mixed it up pretty well. Have to tip your hat to the hitters, as they have been zoned in tonight. Grounder to the right side. Bobbled. Not going to be in time. And as we had just talked about, Ayers tracking the base runner down the line on each ground ball, it comes into play. Boot Hanford trying to cover. Second baseman for Sarasota, Robertson, tries to hit him on the run. It gets past him, and no harm as Ayers is there to back up the play. Reedinger aboard with 2 outs. Connor Hansen to the plate, the lefty. 1 for 1 on the day with a single. Shot it through the left side of the infield for an RBI his last at bat. Pitch misses down and Gibbs holding Feeney on at first. That outside. Hansen ahead, 2-0. Feeney, average lead at first. And that's over the outside part of the plate for a strike. 2-1 to Hansen. 2 away in the bottom of the third. Sarasota leads 3-2. Pitch missed just down. Feeney might be in motion with the 3-1 count and 2 outs. Strike over the outside corner. For sure we'll be running this time. The payoff pitch to Hansen. Boot Hanford looks in. Gets the signal. Comes set. Long pause. Nice play by Boot Hanford, trying to make Feeney think about when he takes off. And the pitch misses just down in the zone. A lot of plate discipline by Hansen. First and second, 2 outs. Left fielder Luke Domrez comes to the plate for North Dakota. Sarasota infield to give a little support to Boot Hanford.
Yeah, they need to settle them down a little bit. It's easy to get frustrated sometimes when you're close to the zone.
Had 2 pitches back-to-back that were really close. Again, we're 70 feet behind home plate and elevated, so I'm not going to question the call,
no.
But from the pitcher's mound, you want those that are borderline. Breaking ball misses down. 1-0 to Domrez. First baseman playing deep behind Hansen. Hansen will be able to get a pretty good lead. Pitch in there for a strike. Evens the count at 1-1.
And Stanley, you're down at field level. That curveball really breaks off at the last minute, doesn't it?
Yeah, the batters are hanging in there. Then all of a sudden, it just breaks right over the plate.
It gets really low.
Yeah, a lot of drop to it.
Yeah.
2-1 the count. Boot Hanford goes for the rosin bag. Takes a break for a minute. And comes set. That's going to be in there for a called second strike. Sarasota got 1 in the top of the 3rd. North Dakota threatening. Runners at first and second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Called third strike over the outside part of the plate for Boot Hanford. And with that, we've played 3. Sarasota 3, North Dakota 2. This is Export TV's coverage of the Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg. We'll be back after a short commercial break.
Would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Interested in purchasing photos from the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series? Visit macbrownphoto.com or send them an email requesting your player or team to info@macbrownphoto.com. Mac Brown Photographers, the official studio of Exports Nation and of the 2017 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series. Mac Brown Photographers, creating tomorrow's memories.
As we head to the top of the 4th, Sarasota leads 3-2 over Bismarck, North Dakota. A chance to advance to the semifinals to play Tri-Valley, California tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Both of these teams have played 4 games in pool play. North Dakota got through as a 2 seed in the American. Sarasota finished as the 3 seed in the National. Chopper back to Hansen. Fields, step, throw to first for the out. 2 pitches, 1 away. Hansen at 44 pitches. I believe Boot Hanford was a couple more than that, but under 50 if I recall. The catcher, Owen Ayers, fouls it out of play to the right side. Ayers 0 for 1 with the ground out. And Hansen misses way outside. 1-1 to the righty Ayers. That was a better breaking ball over the outside part of the plate. 1-2. That's a rip right back up the middle. Sinking line drive will be down for a hit. And Ayers is aboard with one out for Sarasota. That's going to bring the lefty, Evan Gibbs, into the batter's box. First baseman today for Sarasota. Ayers almost in a track position at first, getting his lead. First pitch, strike.
Just squatting down like a catcher, like he is.
Comfortable with it. Swing and a miss on the breaking ball. Hanson ahead, 0-2 quickly. Hanson comes set. Miller moves to the outside part of the plate. Breaking ball just down away. 6 hits for both teams. 3 runs for Sarasota, 2 for Bismarck. 1 error for the club from North Dakota. And had some action with Ayers taking off on the pitch. Fouled away. 1-2 the count. Back through the middle. That's another base hit. Back-to-back singles. 1 away. Sarasota looks to threaten. Both teams need a rover. They need the 10th player, a softball rover out there about 20 feet behind second base.
That's right. Yeah, there's been, what, about 5 balls that have been hit back there.
And Boot Hanford, the pitcher, comes in. 0 for 1 on the day. Squares around. Chops the bunt foul over Miller.
Okay, the ball boys and bat boys have done a fantastic job all series. All local, I do believe.
I believe that's correct.
Yep.
Well, they've got some that traveled with them.
They do have some?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that North Dakota does.
Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Hanson ahead of his counterpart, Boot Hanford. Boot Hanford really choking up on the bat, trying to put it in play with 2 strikes. Fouls it away. I love seeing the fundamentals that have been displayed during this tournament. Teams shortening up when they get 2 strikes, trying to limit the number of strikeouts, make 2 or 3 guys touch the ball on the defense. Boot Hanford scoots toward the plate, chokes up. Hanson gets the signal and comes set. Lifted, shallow center field, caught by Nicholas Hens, the second baseman. 2 away, and that will bring Yonker to the plate, the left fielder. Yonker 0 for 1 with the ground out. Gibbs and Ayers on base for Sarasota. Back up the middle. Sinking line drive. It's going to be down for a hit. Throw to the plate. Not in time. Ayers beats the throw. Miller fielded the throw from the center fielder. Swiped the tag just late. Sarasota with a 2-out rally extends the lead 4-2. As the Sarasota fans Love what's taking place right now in the top of the fourth.
That was a nice slide. You mentioned it. Came at the right angle. And a good relay out in center for Bismarck as well.
Yeah, that was closer than I thought it would be. I'm standing right here on the first base side, and as you said, that was a great slide.
Torres at the plate. Breaking ball stays outside. 0 for 2 is Torres. His last at bat, he hit a line drive to Hens at second base. Misses up, 2-0. 4 runs on 8 hits for Sarasota. 2 runs on 6 hits with 1 error for Bismarck. Three and 0. Hansen at 61 pitches. No action in the bullpen. Yonker and Gibbs aboard. Called strike. Hansen battling on the mound, trying to get out of this inning with only 1. And that's going to be inside for ball 4. Loading the bases for Sarasota. Dylan Robertson going to come to the plate, but not before a visit from the North Dakota manager. Big moment. Down 2, top of the 4th, bases loaded, 2 outs. 1 pitch can get you back to the dugout, try to dig into this lead. 1 hit can blow it wide open early in the game.
Well, we got a moment. Let's take a look at our bracket for the elimination round. Earlier today, Wisconsin over New Jersey 7-3. They will take on Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, the host, tomorrow afternoon at 5:30 right here on Denver Track Field. Tri-Valley, California awaiting the winner of this one tomorrow night, the nightcap, sometime around 8 o'clock. Both games available on X-Sports TV.
Hansen will go from the windup with 2 outs, bases loaded. Dylan Robertson, the second baseman, 1 for 2 on the day. Chopper foul down the left side. Defense playing straight away against Robertson. Down the right field line, going to be foul. Out of play. 0-2. Hansen ahead of the hitter Robertson. It squirts past Miller. Runner coming to the plate. Throw. They got him. And I believe Gibbs might have rolled an ankle a little bit as he tried to slide. Hope the young man's okay. He's up, walking back to the dugout. Nice cover by Hansen. Miller popped up from his crouch, got to it. Out of the threat. 4-2 the score through 3.5 innings from Lawrenceburg. This is the Babe Ruth World Series on X Sports TV.
Would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to the 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series and our broadcast position in the Parks Lumber Perch Denver Trap Field. Rolling along here tonight, our second game, game 22 of the Babe Ruth World Series, Brad Nielsen. 22 games.
It's flown by. It's been a lot of fun.
Yes, it has. J.P. Plant, Stanley G. Wilson, and Brad Nielsen. Stanley?
Hey, guys.
What's going on down the field?
I got a lot of fans cheering over here. Go, Bismarck, go.
Very spirited. Yep.
Good hustle by the catcher that time to get that play at the plate.
That was great. Could be a turning point in this ball game.
Mason Langang, the first baseman, to lead it off for Bismarck in the bottom of the fourth. Pitch misses just down the zone. Langang 0 for 1 with a flyout. Boot Hanford, 57 pitches. In their first strike. Wind up. Fouled off of his foot. Langang walks it off. 1-2 the count. As we move to 9:30 local time.
School night, right? You know all
School
about
night
that.
Indeed. Hopefully mine are already asleep. Boot Hanford winds up. Pitch. Misses down. 2-2. There's been a lot of scoring with 2 outs in this game. Strike 3. Over the outside part of the plate. Ayers doing his best Tony Pena impression.
He's a good-looking catcher.
He really is. Moves well behind the plate. Extremely flexible, getting down low for the spots he's trying to get his pitcher to hit. And just a cannon for an arm. First pitch to Miller, the catcher for Bismarck, in their first strike. Miller 1 for 1 with the single to the right side. One and one. Miller fell behind. His first plate appearance was cut short as Ayers shot the runner down at second. Came back up and hit a line drive to the right side, just over the first baseman. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Bounces it, 2-2. It's funny, after watching Mason for Connecticut, the lefty might be the quickest working pitcher I've ever seen. Spoils you as an announcer. The 2-2 pitch, just off the plate. Runs the count full. Umpire was having to slow Mason down several times the other night. Payoff pitch to Mason. I'm sorry, to Miller. Swing and a miss. 2 away in the bottom of the fourth. North Dakota, the home team, bats, trailing by 2 runs.
The last inning and a half, Boot Hanford has been able to get the North Dakota hitters to chase after that curveball that was dropping just below the zone 2 innings ago. They're swinging and missing here in the bottom of the 5th.
He's working ahead in the count, throwing multiple pitches for strikes. Alexander Krug, the right fielder, swing and a miss.
Correction.
Quickly 0-2.
My apologies, bottom of the 4th.
One thing, the Sarasota catcher, he doesn't do the traditional signals. He hits his chest, goes to his mask, down to his knees, not the 1, 2, or 3 fingers.
Interesting.
Boot Hanford's command right now is just precision. Ayers moving in and out, calling for pitches 4 or 5 inches out of the zone. He's hitting the spots. Slow breaking ball.
Just outside.
Nice looking pitch.
It's like a waltz with those two. Maybe the Tennessee waltz, per se. Fellas, what do you think?
I like it. High pop up, middle of the infield. Boot Hanford calling for it.
Ooh.
And with one hand, he catches it, retires the batter, and flips it to the mound. We've played 4. Sarasota leads 4-2 over Bismarck. This is the Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee on X Sports TV.
Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back into Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, site of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Our second game of bracket play tonight between Sarasota, Florida and Bismarck, North Dakota. Sarasota leads 4-2 as we head to the top of the 5th. First pitch by Hanson. High fly ball to left field. Domerez calls for it. And with 2 hands, he makes the play. Retiring Robertson. That will bring the right fielder Tyler Russin to the plate. One away in the top of the 5th. 14 hits in the game, 8 by Sarasota, 6 by Bismarck. Let's add one to that as Russin rips one through the right side for a single. Runner aboard with 1 out for Sarasota. Jason Scott, the third baseman, steps in. Pitch misses away from Hanson. 1-0. That was a shot by Russin. Slide step. Hanson misses outside with the fastball. Scott 2 for 2 on the day. Hit deep to left field. Domerez going back. Gets under it, makes the play. Chasing the runner back to first, Russin. Domerez with 2 putouts in the inning.
Put a charge into that one.
That was a high fly ball.
Yeah, the wind is dead tonight, but it kept carrying.
It's really a pleasant evening here in Lawrenceburg, southern middle Tennessee. Nicholas Henry, the shortstop, comes to the plate for Sarasota. 2 away. Russin stands on first base. Snap throw over, not in time. Hanson comes set. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Bismarck scored 2 in the bottom of the first. The next 3 innings, have been scoreless. Sarasota, 2 in the top of the first, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth for a 4-2 lead. 2-1 the count. Henry 1 for 2 on the day.
Brad, that last pitch is 75 for Hansen. So his World Series will be finished on the mound after tonight.
That is correct.
As he will have to rest 2 days, and there are only 2 days left.
I'm not going to say the only possibility of him getting back to the mound because we really don't want to see it here. Weather would be our only
I guess you're right.
way
that is
of
correct.
getting that in, but
if things got pushed back to Friday morning, you are correct.
We hope to stay on schedule.
That happens. It's Brad Nielsen that just did that.
Ripped down the left field line. If I'm that much of a soothsayer, we're all going to have a good Christmas. Nice piece of hitting. Henry with the single, moving Russin to second base. Cade Nelson, the DH, coming up. I apologize. The extra player. We have 2 systems here. One says DH. It's not necessarily just coded for Babe Ruth. Nelson, extra hitter. Swing and a miss. 0 for 2 on the day is Nelson with a fielder's choice and a ground out. As this is the top of the 5th inning, and Hansen nears the 80 pitch mark. All but guaranteed we're going to see at least one more arm from Bismarck tonight. 0-2 the count. Stanley, what's the attitude in the Sarasota dugout as they're hitting?
Well, they're just a lot of chanting over here. A lot of chatter.
Pop fly right field. Krug comes in, makes the play. And with that, we're through 4.5. Sarasota 4, Bismarck 2. Babe Ruth World Series on X Sports TV from Lawrenceburg. We'll be right back.
In Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Daryl Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
As we welcome you back into Lawrenceburg, Cody Sorensen, one of the players for the team from Bismarck, celebrating the birthday. And some of the fans and Mr. Paul Plant, one of the locals from Lawrenceburg, singing happy birthday to the young man.
How about that? He gets serenaded on your 16th birthday.
That's pretty good
by the
stuff.
Fans.
How do you beat that Plano World Series? We head to the bottom of the 5th. 4-2 is the score. Sarasota leads. 10 hits for Sarasota, 2 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for Bismarck. Nicholas Hens, the second baseman, 0 for 1 on the day, will lead it off for Bismarck. Rocket to the right side. That's going to be a hit. Trying to throw him out at first. Not in time. Was the right fielder. That was a missile off the bat.
Tell you what.
First pitch swinging, got a fastball in the inner half and punished it.
It came to the plate ready.
The way Boot Hanford has been dealing the last couple innings, that might be your best chance. Come up and look for something first pitch. Wycombe steps in, the leadoff hitter. looks to bunt. Goes foul. Wycombe 0 for 1 on the day. Reached safely once via the walk. Boot Hanford into the mid-70 pitch count. Third baseman playing 2 or 3 steps into the grass. Jason Scott. And Ayers wants to go out and talk to his pitcher for a minute. That's one of the quicker mound visits I've ever seen. I like these guys even more. Keep it moving. Hens on first, takes his lead, held by Gibbs. Pitch out, throw to first. Not in time. It's hard to argue with that call.
Yep.
That would have been Ayers' second pickoff to first base today to go along with a stolen base, runner thrown out, and a pickoff at second. Pitch in there for a strike to Wycombe. 1-2 the count. Breaking ball right down the middle. Third strike.
Well, that just froze the hitter. Reedinger, what a pitch by Boot Hanford. And he's north of 75, but hasn't slowed him down one bit.
Still locating both pitches very well. Skylar Reedinger, the third baseman, up 1 for 2 on the day. Throw over to first, not in time. Chases Hens back. Boot Hanford comes set. There's a strike over the outside half. He's just not making very many mistakes.
No.
The breaking ball that he got Wycombe out on was really one of the first pitches over the middle of the plate in the last few batters. Hens jumped on an inside fastball to get aboard as the leadoff. Breaking ball in there for a second strike. Quickly ahead is Boot Hanford.
Surprised he didn't pull the trigger again there. The first.
As a coach, you have to give Ayers the green light to throw.
Absolutely, anytime.
Pick throw to first. Hens hustles back. Reedinger at the plate. Feeney on deck. Ground ball up the middle. Bounces up over the glove of the shortstop, Henry. Both runners safe. Looked like it might be an inning-ending double play. And all of a sudden, there's one away with 2 on. Henry stayed down on the ball. Don't know if it was a questionable hop or just didn't see it coming back up to him.
He may have started to try to do the double play a little early. He's going to try to pitch it to second base, and it rolled up his forearm.
That was one as close as he was going to be by the time he fielded it. He might have been better to take it unassisted. Nonetheless, that brings Feeney to the plate. First pitch strike from Boot Hanford.
That's the first error of the game on Florida.
1 apiece for North Dakota and Sarasota. Hens at second, Reedinger at first. Breaking ball misses just outside. Feeney 2 for 2 with 2 singles on the day. Not holding the runner at first to Sarasota. That's a line drive right at the second baseman, and that's going to be a double play as he beats the runner back to second base. Hens will have played 5. Sarasota 4, North Dakota 2. This is X Sports TV's coverage of the Babe Ruth World Series. We'll be back to Lawrenceburg after this.
Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Daryl Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back to Lawrenceburg, site of the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Fourth time that Lawrenceburg has hosted this event. Second time in 3 years, as 2015 we were the host for the 13-15 Babe Ruth World Series as well. We head to the top of the sixth. Sarasota leads 4-2. That could be a deflating moment for Bismarck.
Absolutely.
2 runners aboard. Decently hit ball. Second baseman positioned perfectly. Takes it a few steps. Beats the runner back. It's a fly ball down the right field line. Giving chase. What a play by the right fielder.
Wow.
I believe that is Alex Krug. I did not think he had a chance of making
No.
that. Stanley, you have a better view of that. How many, I'm going to say yards, did he just cover to track that ball down?
That's about 50 yards right there.
Incredible play by the right fielder, Krug.
He had to really hustle over there. As you mentioned, there's a lot of foul territory here, but it hung the line and it was just slicing away. Big out right here.
Absolutely. That brings first baseman Evan Gibbs to the plate. 1 for 2 on the day. 1-1 the count to Gibbs. Hanson in there for a strike. Quickly ahead, 1-2. Lefty on lefty matchup. Hanson nearing the 85 pitch mark, misses outside. Again, for our viewers, 95 pitches is the maximum Babe Ruth allows in a day at this age group, and that is strike 3. Batter disagrees, but one opinion matters. 95 is the magic number, though, as we were saying, and Hanson can start a batter below 95. Once he hits 95, he can complete that at bat and no more. As we're going to have a pinch hitter, I believe. Zach Sparby is going to be the hitter for Sarasota. Number 6.
And that is for Boot Hanford. So that would lead us to believe, and there's will be a new pitcher, as there is activity in the Sarasota bullpen.
First pitch from Hanson misses outside. Two 2-0 the count. It's a right-hander in the pen. I cannot make out the number yet. Called strike, 2-1. Wind up from Hanson. Misses high, 3-1. Hear the encouragement in the dugout. And ball 4. Zach Sparby aboard on a 4-pitch walk. That will bring the Bismarck manager out to visit with Hanson, as he's at 90 pitches now. And that's going to be all for the young man. On the mound for Bismarck, Hanson will go swap out gloves. I believe he will probably get his first baseman's mitt. Yes, that appears to be what's taking place.
Nice pitching performance for Hanson.
Absolutely. 2 away in the top of the 6th as we have a pitching change.
Well, both teams going to their bullpen here in this game. So it's going to be interesting how this one finishes up.
Stanley, can you tell who it is in the bullpen for Sarasota?
Not yet.
We'll update that as soon as we're able to get a line of sight on his number.
A reminder coming up tomorrow, we got Wisconsin versus Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, as Janesville, Wisconsin, 7-3 winners over West Windsor, Plainsboro, New Jersey earlier today in the first quarterfinal game of the knockout stage. And the winner of this one will get Tri-Valley, California tomorrow night in the nightcap at Lawrenceburg, Wisconsin at 5:30 here on Denver Trap.
North Dakota bringing in Cade Feeney.
Well, warming up in Sarasota is Cade Nelson.
All right, so
the battle of the Cades from the
could
bullpen.
Be a showdown of Cade and Cade.
All right.
Nelson has been the extra player to this point for Sarasota. Feeney for Bismarck has been playing shortstop. And number 12, who is Skylar Riedinger, will go to short. That will move Connor Hansen to first and Mason Langang to third for Bismarck.
So Feeney in with a 4-2 deficit, trying to hold things where they are.
First pitch high to Brandon Yonker.
And Brad, if I remember correctly, Feeney on Sunday, they brought him out before the 75th pitch. I think it was right around 70. He had a one-hitter going, and they could have finished one more inning, but they kept him below 75, so he only had 1 day rest. And he's here tonight.
2-1 the count as fastball misses up in the zone. Zach Sparby, 2-out walk for Sarasota, stands at first base. 3-1. It's tough for these young men coming in from the position changes that take place. Feeney from shortstop, not from the bullpen, as you would see at higher levels of play. And that's going to be a walk. Yonker walks. That will bring Torres to the plate.
Top of the order now for Sarasota, center fielder, number 8, Harold Torres. Robertson on deck, 2 out.
And we're going to have a runner. Noah Scott will run for Zach Sparby. So with 2 outs, runners at first and second, the leadoff hitter Torres comes to the plate for Sarasota, trying to extend the lead that is currently 4-2, top of the 6th. Feeney comes set. A little lazy one hopper to the first baseman. The pitch to Feeney in time. And with that, Feeney out of the jam. We've played 5.5. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th and see if North Dakota can cut into the 2-run deficit. This is the Babe Ruth World Series on X Sports TV.
Gerald Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back into beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. and the Babe Ruth World Series. We're on Denver Trap Field at Bobby Brewer Park. Heading to the bottom of the 6th inning, Sarasota leads Bismarck, North Dakota 4-2. And it appears Boot Hanford is back to the mound for Sarasota, so it would have been a pinch hitter, pinch runner, re-entry for Boot Hanford, I believe. As Stanley is giving me a head nod that I'm on it. So
well done, Brad.
He's at 82 pitches, officially 82 pitches.
So Connor Hansen, the left-handed, was pitcher, now first baseman, steps in with a single and a walk on the day. First pitch from Boot Hanford, efficiently in for a strike. Boot Hanford trying to extend his night as long as he can. 83 pitches is what we have him at. This is just outside. That's not the official pitch count, by the way.
That's correct.
Okay. Sometimes we might be one or two behind on our computer, but make sure no one holds us to being the counter on this. Fouled out of play by Hansen.
Yeah, they've got a big scoreboard right outside of our window that takes care of that. New this year.
That's really a neat feature, as it leaves nothing to question between the umpires and the head coaches. The head coach is ultimately responsible. A line drive into left field and misplayed by the left fielder, Yonker. That's going to be running for a while as Hansen rounding second, and he's going to stay there with a leadoff double. That ball was smoked right at Yonkers and then started slicing toward the left field line. Tough play for the young man. But with no outs in the bottom of the 6th, Hansen's aboard. Bismarck trails by 2. Luke Domrez, the left fielder, coming to the plate.
So that is 86, I believe now. Pitches for Hanford, sorry.
Domrez 1 for 2 with a single on the day. And as Stanley mentioned, Nelson was the player for Sarasota warming up. A bunt high over toward the Sarasota dugout. Gets to the ground. Bismarck looking to put some people in motion.
So this likely will be Boot Hanford's last inning, as he's only 8 pitches away from the max limit of 95.
Up in the zone, ball 1. So this is Domrez and Langang on deck for Bismarck. Domrez, the 5-hole hitter. Chop foul. 1-2, Boot Hanford ahead.
Stanley, with the pitch count this year, have you been able to talk with any managers or coaches, players about the difference this year and how they like it or dislike it?
I've not really heard anything yet about it. Day after this pitch.
Shallow fly ball, shortstop under it, makes the play.
Coach Rob Million came over to the umpire and he asked for an official count. Even though they've got the scoreboard, he is allowed to ask, and there's somebody in the press box that's keeping up with the pitch count, and he wanted an official count, and so the umpire just radioed up there, and it was correct on the board.
For those of you watching at home, that is the only thing that one person is doing in the press box, is tracking pitch counts for both teams. It's not a multitasking job to where there could be errors. They have one responsibility on that.
And one responsibility only.
First pitch to Langang, in for a strike.
It's a lot of pressure, Stanley, isn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do not want that job.
No.
Langang swings through it quickly. 0-2. Tying run at the plate for Bismarck. Trailing 4-2 in the bottom of the 6th with 1 away. Hansen running. Ayers throw to third. He bounced the throw. Nice play by Scott to field it, but when it bounced, it shot up almost waist high, and the speed of Hansen was able to beat the tag.
Yeah, that high hop, which you wouldn't expect on this somewhat damp turf tonight, it bounced high and the slide came up underneath it.
Really nice execution by all three players involved in that, but Hansen's speed just the determining factor. And there's a shot down the left field line, just fair. Langang running hard out of the box is headed to second. Hansen scores and slides in just under the tag. What a play by the left fielder, Yorker.
Wow.
He got over and quickly cut it off, threw a strike to second baseman Dylan Robertson, and back-to-back plays, Bismarck slides just under 2 tags.
He's at 94 pitches. He could start this batter and finish this batter.
So Cameron Miller, the catcher, steps in, will be the last batter faced by Boot Hanford. Called strike over the outside part of the plate. 4-3 is your score. Tying run stands at second base for Bismarck. Just a bit outside. Ayers was set up there. He hit the spot. Did not catch the plate. Fly ball, center field. Torres under it, 2 hands. Too shallow for Langang to try to tag up. And we're going to have a pitching change. As Stanley just mentioned, Alec Boot Hanford with a fantastic outing. 97 total pitches. Gives up 3 runs on 9 hits through 5 2/3. We'll take a short break and be back to reset who the new pitcher is in just a moment. This is the Babe Ruth World Series on X Sports TV.
Would like to congratulate all the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back into Lawrenceburg and X Sports TV's coverage of the Babe Ruth World Series. 4-3 is the score. Sarasota leads. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brad Nielsen, J.P. Plant, Stanley Wilson. J.P. has got some stats on Boot Hand's outing today.
Yeah, Boot Hanford tonight went 5 2/3 innings, gave up 9 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned, only walked 2, struck out 4. So really nice performance through 97 total pitches. The max, of course, 95. And as we just witnessed, you can finish the batter once you start and hit the 95th pitch. So a new pitcher has to come in due to the rules, and a tough spot for Cade Nelson. And a tiny strike zone. We were just talking about that before we came back. It's hard enough with a runner on base. 2 outs, you're only up by 1. But you got the shortest man on your opponent's team.
Absolutely.
In that small strike zone.
And Krug has the ability to shoot it to the right side, making it even more difficult. Boot Hanford had success against Krug with the breaking ball. First pitch from Nelson. Chop foul. Krug had a good pitch to hit right there.
Yeah, he did.
Inner half of the plate. Just missed it. 0-1 the count. Krug looking for the tying run. Oh for 1 on the day with sacrifice bunt also. Popped up. appears to stay in play. The catcher Ayers dances around, makes the play. We're through 6. Bismarck scores 1 to cut the lead to 1. 4-3 is your score. Sarasota over Bismarck, North Dakota. We head to the 7th inning. This is the Babe Ruth World Series on X Sports TV.
Enterprises in Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises in Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back into Denver Trapp Field, site of bracket play in Lawrenceburg. Host of the Babe Ruth World Series 2015 and 2017. Had a fantastic game so far, JP. Florida leads 4-3, 10 hits to 9 hits, and the fans are getting into it.
This is what makes it so much fun.
Sarasota bats in the top of the 7th, looking for an insurance run. Dylan Robertson, the second baseman, to lead it off. First pitch from Feeney. Fastball right down the middle for a strike.
Feeney is humming it tonight. That adrenaline certainly pumping through his body right now.
Ow. Robertson chops the breaking ball off of his front foot. That is a miserable feeling. Quickly behind 0-2 is Robertson as he has a minute to try to walk that off. Hope the young man's okay. Stanley, are you over in the Sarasota dugout still?
Yes, I am.
What are the players saying as they're trying to get an approach together for these at-bats? Fastball up and in.
They're telling each other just to stay in there on it and watch it all the way through.
Great idea as Feeney's pounded the outside with the fastball and then mixed in the off-speed like that. Strike 3. One away in the top of the 7th. Tyler Russin stepping to the plate. The right fielder, 2 for 2. Reached base safely all 3 times as his other plate appearance. He was hit by a pitch. Scored once. Just a bit outside. Defense straight away for Bismarck. Fastball too high. 2-0 the count. Feeney from the windup. This is high again. Quickly 3-0. Russin ahead in the count. And it's a 4-pitch walk for Russin. That will bring the cleanup hitter, Jason Scott, the third baseman, to the plate. 2 for 3 with 2 singles. 1 RBI on the day.
Come on, parents.
I love the Sarasota bench telling the parents to get into it, make some noise. Feeney's fastball swung through by Scott. Russin at first base being held by Hansen. Feeney comes set to the plate. Breaking ball stays up, throw to first, not in time. I love the excitement in the Sarasota dugout as they're hitting in the top of the 7th. Pitch past Miller off the backstop. Russin will advance to second base.
You saw the ricochet Kareem off that padding there. That's how fast Feeney is throwing.
Feeney's got some giddy up on his fastball
Yeah,
right now.
he does.
I wish my guy from Janesville was still here with the radar gun. So Sarasota has a runner standing at second, 1 out, trying to extend the lead. Scott steps out. Feeney looking to hold the score at 4-3, giving his Bismarck team a chance to win it in the bottom of the 7th. Miller, nice job hanging on the outside fastball. 3-1 the count. Sarasota fans making some noise. Feeney comes set. Misses down and outside. Ball 4. That's going to bring a visit from the North Dakota manager. Tells his infielders to stay back. Just wants a quick word with Feeney. Sometimes your buddies can get you more jacked up than settle you down. And again, that's one of the quicker visits I've ever seen.
Yep.
So coming to the plate will be the shortstop, Nicholas Henry, 2 for 3 on the day. 2 singles, 1 RBI. Runners at first and second. Scott at first, Russin at second. 1 away, top of the 7th. Pitch misses just inside. The 1-0 stays high. Feeney struggling to find the zone right now. No action in the pen for Bismarck. 3-0. Looks like Feeney tried to take a little bit off that one and place it instead of just rearing back and letting it go. Strike 1 at the letters. And not unlike the first game, high leverage in the 7th. Feeney looking to battle back from a 3-0 count, gets 1 over. Make that 2, full count. Henry with a man standing at second. Could be an insurance run. And he leaves the fastball up, ball 4. Sarasota has the bases loaded, 1 away in the top of the 7th. And it looks like it's going to be Feeney's to finish. Henry at first, Scott at second, Russin at third, Cade Nelson at the plate. Nelson now pitching for Sarasota, takes a first pitch strike. Swing and a miss. Miller backhands the breaking ball, bouncing away from him.
What a stop by Miller.
Huge play.
Sliding over, backhanding it. Stanley is a former catcher. That's not easy.
From the windup. Fouled away. Nelson down 0-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
Wow.
Feeney records the second out. It's a big out for Feeney and this Bismarck team.
That may have been his fastest pitch tonight.
It's hard to judge when you're looking at it from different angles, but he's got to be one of the harder throwers we've seen this week. Fastball up when he really bears down and lets it go. One and 0 the count. Owen Ayers, the catcher. 2-0 as it stays outside. Ayers 1 for 3 on the day. The wind up. Strike 1. 2-1 to the catcher Ayers. Feeney winds up. Just a bit outside. As you have a split reaction, the Sarasota fans cheering and the Bismarck fans wanting that call. It was close. And that one is a called strike. Very close to the same spot, runs it full. Both fans can be happy. Fouled out of play. We'll do it again. Bases loaded, 2 outs, full count, top of the 7th. 1-run game. Couldn't ask for any better. Runners moving. And ball 4 squirts past Miller. That's going to put Russin across to extend the Florida lead to 5-3. Evan Gibbs, the first baseman, the lefty, steps in for Sarasota. Bases remain loaded. Gibbs 1 for 3 on the day.
That's a big run.
Absolutely. Feeney still from the windup. Hit deep to center field. Going back is Wycombe. Gets under it and makes the play. So 1 run comes across in the top of the 7th to extend the Sarasota lead to 5-3. 3 outs remain for North Dakota. Can they tie it up? This is X Sports TV's coverage of the Babe Ruth World Series. We'll be back to Lawrenceburg right after this.
In Main Street, Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Daryl Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Welcome back into X Sports TV coverage of the Babe Ruth World Series. We have got a fantastic game on tap. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Sarasota leads 5-3 in the quarterfinal matchup. These two teams trying to advance for the opportunity to play the California Club at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Sarasota plates 1 in the top of the 7th. Nelson, the new pitcher for Sarasota, came in to finish the bottom of the 6th. What are you looking for if you're North Dakota batters coming to the plate?
Well, you just got to wait for your pitch. And there's a lot of pressure can be on the mound, so be patient at the plate. We've seen it happen so many times. A leadoff walk the last game, both in the top half of the 7th and the bottom half of the 7th. The leadoff runner got on, and we saw some fireworks go. So it starts with that leadoff hitter.
Absolutely. 7 runs, I believe it was, scored in the 7th inning of our previous game. And it will be second baseman Nicholas Hens, 1 for 2 on the day. trying to get it started for Bismarck. Nelson will pitch from the windup for Sarasota. Pitch just inside, ball one. This is one of those moments you tell your teammates to wear one if it stays on the inside. 2-0 as it misses down.
There you go, and he's being patient already with the 2-0 count.
Third baseman Scott offering encouragement. Strike over the outside part of the plate. Still have to be small strike zone if you're ends with a 2-1 count. Nelson adjusts the dirt in front of the rubber, gets comfortable, comes set. Little chopper in front of the plate, fielded by Nelson, steps, throws to first. Just in time as the throw pulled Gibbs across the baseline in front of Hens. One away. And with that, North Dakota goes back to the top of the lineup. Connor Wycomb.
That's a big out. Sorry there, Brad. It was a really big out to get that lead of runners we talked about. And a bang-bang play. Nice move there by the first baseman for Florida.
Absolutely. Wycomb steps to the plate. 0-2, reached once on a walk. Strike called. Both fan bases hanging on every pitch. Somebody loves every pitch and somebody can't stand every pitch. Wow, what a beautiful breaking ball in for a second strike. Wycomb quickly behind 0-2. Wycomb chokes up a bit. Ayers sets up high and outside. Misses high and inside. Ball one. Be shocked if Ayers does not set up out of the zone again, trying to get Wycomb to chase. Wycomb gets the pitch, comes set. Apologize, Nelson. Wycomb is the batter. 2-2. One away. Lazy fly ball, shortstop under it. And Nicholas Henry makes the play. Just like that, North Dakota is down to their final out of the tournament. Bismarck needing 2 runs to stay alive. And the batter will be Skylar Riedinger, the shortstop, 1 for 3 on the day. Umpire tells Nelson to let Riedinger get in and get comfortable before he comes set. And the pitch. Chopped foul off of his front foot. Riedinger looking to jump on a first pitch fastball. Feeney stands on deck. Hansen in the hole for Bismarck. Pitch way outside by Nelson. One and one the count. Sarasota 1 out from advancing to the semifinals. Strike 2. Waiting to see if the Sarasota faithful come to their feet with a 1-2 count, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Fly ball, Shallow right field. Gibbs, first baseman under. And that'll do it, folks. Sarasota 5, Bismarck 3. Florida will advance to the semifinal round. We will be back shortly. This is X Sports TV's coverage of the Babe Ruth World Series from Lawrenceburg. We'll come back for players of the game, final stats, and a wrap-up in just a moment.
Lawrenceburg would like to congratulate all of the Babe Ruth teams from across the country that have made their way to Lawrenceburg, Tennessee in the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series. Main Street Lawrenceburg supports many revitalization projects to maintain and grow a healthy community spirit. Darrell Valentine Enterprises and Main Street Lawrenceburg wish every team the best of luck during the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee.
This is the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series on the X Sports Radio Network.
Sarasota, Florida gets it done. They advance to the semifinals with a 5-3 win over Bismarck, North Dakota. And Sarasota will take on Tri-Valley, California tomorrow night in the nightcap around 8 o'clock for a chance to make it to the championship game on Thursday. And time now for our Ron Tellefson players of the game. Let's go to public address announcer once again, Bill Phillips.
CEO Ron Tellefson. His commitment to our nation's youth was unsurpassed. His primary objective was that every child has the opportunity to play in this great game of baseball. Congratulations to our outstanding players this evening. Presenting the awards will be Michael Crane. Michael is a Babe Ruth board member, the LCHS Baseball Booster Club president, and he was the assistant coach on the 2015 Babe Ruth team that finished number 2 in the nation. The player of the game for North Dakota is Connor Hansen. Connor Hansen. And the player of the game for Florida is Tyler Russin.
All right, so your Ron Tellefson players of the game for North Dakota, Connor Hansen, and for Sarasota, Florida, Tyler Russin. As we take a look at our final stats here tonight, real quickly. For Southeast champs in Sarasota, Florida, Torres 0 for 3 tonight. Dylan Robertson 1 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Tyler Russin 2 for 2 with 2 runs scored. 2 for 3 for Jason Scott with an RBI. Same for Nick Henry, 2 for 3 with an RBI. 0 for 4, Cade Nelson with an RBI. Owen Ayers 1 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. Evan Gibbs 1 for 4 with tonight, and it was Brandon Yonker 1 for 2 with a RBI. Alec Boot Hanford 0 for 2 tonight. For North Dakota, Connor Wycombe 0 for 3 tonight, 1 for 4 for Skylar Rittinger. It was Cade Feeney 2 for 3 with an RBI. 2 for 2 with an RBI and a run scored for Connor Hansen. Luke Domres 1 for 3 with a RBI. It was Mason Langang 1 for 3 with an RBI. 1 for 3 for Cameron Miller. Alexander Krug 0 for 2, 1 for 3 for Nicholas Hintz tonight. And Alec Boot Hanford picks up the win. 5 2/3 inning pitch, 9 hits, 3 runs. They were earned. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts tonight. Stanley Wilson, you were down on the in the dugout for this game, and the enthusiasm, something we hadn't seen really a whole lot of, or at least to this level. It was probably at a heightened level tonight. Both teams having a lot of fun, and it was a fun environment, especially down on the field, I'm sure.
It was, and the players are the ones that got the parents up. They would go over to the fence and say, "Come on, y'all, get up." And you saw that in that last inning. He finally they started a kind of a back and forth chant between Bismarck and Sarasota. But hey, what a game! 5-3. That was a great game, the first game tonight. But that's what you expect in single elimination. You go through the pool play, and then you've got the best teams out here, and they're showing it today.
Absolutely. 2 really entertaining baseball games, nip and tuck, and fairly even baseball teams as well. Brad, as we're down to now the Final Four. We've got Janesville, Wisconsin, who defeated New Jersey earlier today. 7-3, they'll take on Lawrenceburg, the 1 seed, undefeated in pool play tomorrow at 5:30. And then Sarasota, Florida, and Tri-Valley, California will take on, they'll play tomorrow night down to the Final Four, and both rematches as both are division opponents, as the 3 seeds both won tonight.
Absolutely. That's what I was just looking at. Both 3 seeds advance. Not every day you see that, but 2 well-played games. All 4 teams came out, really played well tonight, had a chance going into the 7th inning in both games, and that's all you can ask for at this level is give yourself a chance. Maybe you get a bounce here or there that helps you, and congratulations to Sarasota and Wisconsin on advancing to the semifinals.
Yeah, and congratulations as well to Bismarck, North Dakota, and their run, as they were the defending runners-up, if you will. They finished second to Tri-Valley, California a year ago, these same teams. And also congratulations to West Windsor, Plainsboro, New Jersey, as they went 3-1 in pool play and fell today. So they'll be heading home. Down to 4, the Final Four, and we'll have it for you tomorrow, all live here on X Sports TV. We'll be back at it around 5:30, a little before tomorrow evening to get some pregame ceremonies and the first pitch right here from Denver Trapp Field. It's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Thanks for tuning in to X Sports TV's coverage of the 15-year-old Babe Ruth World Series, where your final score, Florida wins it 5-3 over Bismarck, North Dakota. For Stanley G. Wilson, Brad Nielsen, and Bryant Gobble, I'm J.P. Plant, reminding you to join us tomorrow at 5:30. The host of Lawrenceburg, Tennessee, taking on Janesville, Wisconsin on your home for the Babe Ruth World Series. X Sports TV. Until then, so long and good night from Denver Trapp Field in beautiful Lawrenceburg, Tennessee at the 2017 Babe Ruth World Series.